Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with a review of the Eachine X6 mini hexacopter with HD camera. Now, if you saw my review of the Arttech X6, you may recall that I was very disappointed with this thing. So when I saw that this new one was coming out, I was a little bit worried that it'd have the same problems, but it seems like Eachine watched my review and fixed every single thing I complained about. This one is much, much better. Notably, it has LEDs on the motor mounts now, which help greatly with orientation. The front two lights are blue and the rest are white, so that really helps you see the front as well. By default, it came with white props on the front, but it had green spares, so I put the green on, and those are much easier to see. They kind of light up from the LED as well. These prop guards are also optional. I put them on just because I think it looks cool and I wanted to show what it looks like with the guards on. But those light up from the LEDs as well, so that also helps with orientation because these kind of have a blue glow where the rest are white. So orientation is nice and easy. It's really stable. It's not super stable in a hover. It kind of drifts around a bit, but it flies really nice and stable. It's smooth and precise. It responds quickly. You can do funnels with it and everything. So it flies really nice. It flips well. A little bit slow on the recovery if you have the camera and prop guards on, obviously, but you can remove the camera, you can remove the prop guard, so you've got a couple different formats you can fly it in. It has a 520 milliamp hour battery, takes about 2 hours to charge. The battery compartment's a little bit odd. You've got these little like arms you move here on the side, and then let's see if I can get this one out of the way. The camera is just attached to the battery hatch. So there's a couple screws on there where you could remove it and still use the hatch. But the battery fits in there tight enough that when I want to fly without the camera on, I just take the hatch off and fly without a hatch. Because that battery's not really coming out. It's in there pretty good. You've got to kind of pull it out with the tab, and it fits in there really nice and tight. But the battery's a little odd. It's a completely different shape and size from anything we've seen or may already have. So the batteries are very specific to this model. So you'll want to buy some extra batteries if you plan to extend your flight times. But again, it takes 2 hours to charge. And then depending on how you've got it formatted, so let's see, if you've got it in the heaviest form where you've got the prop guards and the camera on, you get about 4.5 minute flights. If you leave the camera on and take the guards off, you get about 5 minute flights. So the prop guards take about 30 seconds of flight time off. If you remove the camera but leave the guards on, then you get about 6 minutes of flight. So the camera takes about a minute of flight time off. And then if you have it in its fullest, lightest form, no camera, no prop guards, you can get about 6.5, 7 minutes of flight time. And it has a really early LVC warning, so all those flight times are to the LVC warning, but you can expect to fly for another 30 seconds, maybe up to a minute after LVC. So plenty of warning. If you're up high filming and you see the LVC come on, you've got plenty of time to get it back to you nice and early, so that's nice. Let's see, what else do I have to say? It's got a pretty decent yaw rate. It's not super fast, but it's definitely manageable. The transmitter has the rate switch is on the throttle, so you got to press up for high rates and down for low rates. So that's a little bit awkward. I'm not a huge fan of using throttle control or throttle trim to make features go on and off, but it kind of makes sense because you've got so many other things to do. You've got flips, and then that's your camera control. It can take stills if you just click it, or it'll start video if you press and hold it. If you're in low rates, as soon as you hit the flip button, it automatically does a forward flip. But if you're in high rates, you press and hold it, and then you can flip in any way you want. So a little bit weird that you can only do automatic forward flips in low rates. It comes with a bunch of stuff here. It's kind of interesting. All the spare parts are like retail packaged, but it, it has, this is 2 sets of props. It's only one full set. You've got 3 and 3, so that's your 6 props for the whole set. So each 3 is packaged separately. USB charging cable, and then this is what the prop guards were in. So that's kind of interesting. It's got really nice packaging. The box is really nice as well. Let me show you that. It's kind of, it reminds me of like an Apple product. It's packaged so nicely. And then you do have 4 different colors. You've got yellow, red, blue, and gold. And then I think, oh yeah, it comes in mode 1 or 2. Let's see, what else is there to say? Let's talk about the camera a little bit more. So the camera does have a angled lens. You can kind of set your angle on it. The card is a little interesting. It doesn't really click into place at all. Oh, and it doesn't come with a card. You've got to provide your own card and card reader. It doesn't come with either of those. But the card you put in this way, so you've got your, the little reading part goes down if you're looking at the bottom of the camera, and it just kind of pressure fits in there. It doesn't really ever kind of click, or like some of them kind of have that, you can kind of feel a spring. This one just kind of pushes in, so it's a little tricky to tell if you've got it in right, but that is in properly. And it is a 720p 2 megapixel camera, so they call it HD. It's not great, but it's kind of the standard right now. A lot of different quads have this same camera quality, so you can expect to pretty much be in line with the Hubsan X4 HD camera or the Cyma X5C and stuff like that. So not great, but not horrible either. Let's see what else. Lots of stuff to say about this one. It does use the JXD 389 protocol, which is also the WL Toys V252 Pro. So you can fly it with this transmitter or the V252 Pro transmitter. I actually really like this 389 transmitter. This is one of my favorites to use. And then if you do use this, you can do any flip you want on low rates as well. You can, you've got your dual rates and flip button work like they would with this transmitter with another model. So using this, you can do flips and low rates any way you want. However, I don't think you can operate the camera. I actually didn't try to operate the camera with it. I just flew with it. So maybe this button would turn the camera on and off. I don't know. But anyway, so that is the protocol it uses, just for your information. And I think that is about all I have to say about it. Oh, you can calibrate it. Let me tell you that. So to calibrate, both sticks go to the down inside, and that'll calibrate it. So nothing more to it. Just set it on a flat level surface, push both sticks to the center inside, and it'll calibrate. And now that is indeed all I had to say about it. So let's go take it for a flight, and I'll show you some of the footage from the built-in camera. All right, let's go check it out. Alright, this is the flight review of the Eachine X6 mini hexacopter with HD camera. And go ahead, and I've got it in with, with the camera and the prop guard, so I'm going to have the shortest flight time, so I'm going to kind of have to show off everything pretty quick here. This back LED kind of comes and goes. Sometimes it turns off, so I think I've got a bum LED. But for the most part, this is a really nice quad, or hex. Let's start off in low rates, and I'll show you. I mean, it's still very manageable to fly. Sound like one of my props hit the prop guard there for a second. So I don't know if you remember my review of the Arttech X6, but I definitely was not able to fly it in the kitchen very well. But this one, no problem. So let's put it on high rates. Yeah, I got a prop hitting the prop guard or something. That's really weird. Okay, so here's high rates pitch, so you can see it responds really quick. That Arttech was really slow to respond to changing directions, but this one changes no problem. You can see the The blue LEDs on the front arms there and the green props make it easy to keep your orientation. Alright, let's start the camera. Alright, camera is going now. It kind of shows some film review sample. And I'll have to try to do an outdoor flight of this sometime, but it's really bad weather here right now, so it may be a little bit before I get a chance to do that. Little droney there. Alright, and then I think you gotta double tap to turn off the camera. Okay, I think that's off now. Alright, so I'm in high rate, so I should be able to flip however I want. Yep. Man, there's some prop is doing something weird there every once in a while. But I mean, look at that. Even with the camera and prop guards, it's pretty good, clean flips. It recovers fairly decently. It's getting a little slow now that I've got some battery wear down. So now I'm on low rates, and if I hit the button, it just immediately does a front flip. Yeah, it's getting a little slow on the recovery now, but you know, it's obviously much better at recovering when you've got the camera and prop guards removed. But yeah, I mean, look how controllable this thing is. It's nice and smooth. That's low rate funnel there. And if you saw my review of the Arctech X6, I was not doing anywhere near as well with that. So I mean, I feel like they corrected pretty much every problem I had with that thing. The prop guards do work against the ceiling. Let's try against the washer over here. Not bad. There's not much clearance between the prop guards and the prop, so they do kind of hit the prop when you get close. I think that's also what's happening when every once in a while, yeah, when I yaw, you hear that? You can... Oh, there's LVC. Oh, and you can see that back LED went out, so it just kind of comes and goes. I don't really know what's going on there, but yeah, one of these props is nicking the prop guard when I yawed. I don't really know why that would only happen during yaw, but anyway, it didn't seem to affect anything. But yeah, as you can see, this thing flies great, flips great. The camera is decent. It's not super great, but it'll do the job. So yeah, pretty cool Hex. I'm happy with this one. Definitely made up for the disappointment with the Arctech X6. So check it out. I've got the video, or in the video description you can find the purchase link and price. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.